In this video, we're going to be looking at the Page Layout tab. So, in the Page Layout tab, I'm only going to be covering two sections. I'm going to cover the Page Setup section and the Page Background section because these two sections are important for our course. Now, in the Page Setup section, the features here usually just deal with the way your page is laid out, and you can always change all the features within your page setup. So the first little icon here is for the page margins. Now around every single page in Microsoft Word there is there's a little border, a little buffer between the end of the page to where your text would begin, to where your document actually begins. Now you could change the buffer, the border between the end of the page to where your text begins. Right now, where the cursor is currently clicking, if I were to start typing, this is where my text would begin. However, if I want my text to be higher up on the page or closer to the edge of the page, I would click on margins for that, and that will change the area around my page. So if I click on margins, it will give me a few options. So last custom setting, so whatever my last setting was. The normal setting, so standard, which is 2.54 centimeters, and that's all the way around. Narrow, which will make the top smaller and the sides smaller. Moderate, which will make the sides smaller and the top larger. Wide, and then mirrored. So if I click on narrow, for example, this will now take my text all the way to the top, like right there. And this is where my text would begin if I wanted. So that's what margins lets you do. It lets you play around with the area or the border around your page. Orientation is the next feature, a part of this tab. So orientation lets you change the way your page is. So currently our page is set up as portrait. That's the standard size. However, if I want to flip my page and make it landscape, I just click on the icon and then hit landscape, and now if you take a look at my page, it is now landscape, and it will print landscape, and I could do all my work landscape. The next feature here is size. Now size will let me change the size of my page. If there is legal paper in my printer, if I want to print legal, or if I want my document to be legal, I could select that feature in Microsoft Word. So right now my page is set as landscape, and it's regular letter size paper. I'm going to switch it back to portrait, and if you click on size up at the top, you could change the size of your page. So right now it's normal, it's letter. I could change it to legal, so the longer paper, and that will make my page longer as well. So minimize that. And now my page is longer, and I could print legal. I could do executive. I could do all sorts of different different papers. I could print all sorts of different papers. I can also do envelopes from here as well. Now if I want my page to be legal and landscape, I could click on legal and then make it landscape as well, and now it's legal and landscape. Columns is another feature that we need to know for this course, and what this does is it will split your page into 2 or 3 different columns. I'm going to set my page back to normal to show you this. So now my page is back to normal. For columns, you could pick either 1, 2, 3 or 3 columns, and they could be spaced differently, left, right. It gives you options, and you could split up into further other columns as well. It gives you choice of doing different columns. So if you want columns on your page, what you do is you just go up to the columns icon, click on 2. I'm just going to do 2 columns. You'll know that up here in your right here in your scale, you'll have where you could set your margin from. You'll get this little box right here. This is showing you where your columns are. So my first column starts here, and it goes all the way here. My second column starts right here, and it ends right here. So I now know that my page has been split up into 2 columns. So if I were to type and continue typing, my cursor will automatically go up into the next section. So now I've got 2 columns, and that's what that icon lets you do. The next section that we're going to be looking at a part of the page layout tab is the page background section. Now this section lets us do different things to our page and to the background of our page. The first thing that we're going to look at is watermarks, which is the first icon. Now, watermark will let you insert a watermark onto your page. So watermark is just text that's shaded behind whatever is on your document. And it's usually there to indicate that the document needs to be treated a certain way, if it's confidential, if it's urgent, or if it's a draft. So I'll show you an example of how to add a watermark to your page. So here is my page. I will go to watermark, I will click on the arrow on the icon, and it'll pull up this little box for me, so I could add confidential to my page going across. I could add the other confidential, which is going across this way. Then there's do not copy. If I click on any one of these, there is my watermark. It will appear on my page. Well, something else that I could do with this feature is I could change what it says. If I don't want it to say confidential, I want it to say draft, for example, I could click on custom watermark, and a little box will come up. And I will, under where it says text, I will change it to draft. So if I type in draft right there, click apply, okay, close, and now my watermark says draft. The next thing I could do with this section is page color. This just gives a color to my page. So if I click on this little arrow and I select blue, for example, or I'll do another color so it doesn't blend into the background, purple, it changes the color of my page. And the last thing that I could do is I could add a border to my page. So if I click on page borders, this will give me all the different options for borders, and it'll give me all the different types of borders. So if I go to page border, which is right here, because I want to border around my whole page, I want a box like so. So I'll select the setting first. Then the style. There's different styles of the border. I'll do this this one right here. And this will go around my page. I could change the color if I like. So if I want a blue border, if I want, I could change the width or the thickness of my lines. I could maybe click on that. And then there's different types of art as well if you like. So let's select, I don't know, let's do these stars right here. And that'll go around my page, and I click on OK. And there's my border. So I could do different things with page border. Maybe I want to, I'll show you another example. I could go to none. I just want it to be a line around my page. Oops. Like so. Okay. And that will put a line around my page. So that's what that feature lets you do. It lets you add a border around your page.